I've been a musician for most of my life, actually. Started with playing the recorder and the flutes in 3rd and 4th grade, and eventually the saxophone, and eventually when I found drums at age 13, I kind of abandoned all the other instruments and fell in love with the drums. So I was a rock drummer for the longest time, and then when I discovered tabla from India, the North Indian classical drums, that made me kind of want to drop drum set and really go deep into the Indian roots. And was fortunate to find an amazing teacher, amazing guru, Pandit Sharda Sahai, to learn from. And it was the beginning of a love affair with sound and what sound was doing to me and my mind and my body. I didn't always realize what it was doing at the time, but it just felt so good to drum and to play. Drumming in particular really relaxes the brain. It entrains the brain waves to a more relaxed state. So I was getting kind of a dose of sound medicine and not really realizing it, just trying to be a good drummer from a musician's point of view. Now when I approach sound, I approach it differently. It's not about the technique or how fast I can play or how good a musician I am. It's really more about what kind of sound quality can I transmit to a person or to myself. How can I use that to go into a meditative state and be more relaxed and release stress and release old traumas? I think a lot of it has to do with intention. Before, I was playing the drums, going into these meditative states, and people would tell me it was a great performance, and maybe there was an effect that was being transmitted, but I wasn't aware of it. So now, if I'm using sound to work on somebody, then there's an intention that I want to send the highest amount of the frequency of love through that sound, and use that sound to help them feel safe, help them get to a more relaxed state, help them connect with their own spirit and their own essence and their core. So those intentions are important to how we use sound, rather than just going through the motions and sort of unconsciously producing sounds that might be technically great or musically great, but they're not necessarily connected to the heart. So I would say it all has to do with connecting to the heart. When I say intention, I mean the mind and the heart, really. A mental intention is not as powerful as an intention that's combined with the heart intention. Sound, we're all vibration. We're all vibrating in our being. Our cells are vibrating. There's energy in us that's vibrating. And really, if you look at it from a quantum physics point of view, all matter is vibrating. It's just at slower rates, so they appear to be solid. But if we're having emotional disturbances inside of ourselves, it's just another frequency, something that is not resonating with the rest of the body, or not resonating with the core of who you really are and who you really want to be and what your essence is telling you to be. So there's a conflict there. There's a dissonance instead of a resonance. So sound can be often effective at bringing the body, bringing the energy system back into resonance, back into harmony. Drumming, I mentioned, is a great way to entrain the brain waves and to bring you back to your rhythm, to bring you back to your heartbeat. A lot of times we're out of touch with our hearts and in our minds, worrying, stuck in these repetitive loops that create the anxiety, these thought loops. So getting back into the body, getting back into the energy system, connecting with the heartbeat is important. That's why I love drumming primarily, but I also love experimenting with harmony as well. Harmony, different tones, these frequencies harmonize the patterns in the body. So if you have this dissonant emotion, this anger, this guilt, this sadness, sometimes harmony can trigger a transformation in that energy in you. So I call it Drumantra, and it's basically an affirmation, something positive about yourself, but it's set to a rhythm, set to a beat, so that we get the benefit of entraining the brain waves to that more relaxed state. That's what rhythm does. But we're also tapping on our bodies at the same time. And that's providing an anchor so that every time we tap on our body like this, we're kind of remembering that feeling. But it's also stimulating acupressure points, acupuncture points. You're connecting with your heart. You're stimulating the thymus gland. So all kinds of benefits from tapping on the body. It's bringing what is a thought, what is an intention, down to the physical and installing it in your body. So Drumantra, the one that I've been using primarily lately, is all about love. It's I love myself completely. Now this might feel weird at first to do it at first, but you got to stick with it and see what it does over many days, because it starts to transform your subconscious mind. It starts to transform your energy system. And then you start to notice all the thoughts that are running through your head that aren't love, that are fear-based thoughts, that are anger-based, guilt-based. You start to become more aware of them because you've just made your dominant state, I love myself completely. And the mantra is simply, I love myself completely. 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 Yeah, breathing that in. Noticing the energy coming from your hands right into your heart, nurturing your heart, nurturing your belly. So it's a gift you can give yourself every day. I suggest practicing it like any other spiritual practice, like a mantra practice, like your yoga practice, your meditation practice, committing to a certain amount of minutes, maybe 15 minutes a day for a week, for 2 weeks.
Could you do this standing also?
Absolutely. In fact,
I might want to dance.
I love to do it standing and in front of the mirror, actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the eye connection is even more powerful because you're really reprogramming on a deep level. Movement, getting your feet into it, swaying or dancing to it, also gets the whole body involved, gets the whole body reprogramming itself. So I love it as a fantastic tool. I'm working with several different drum mantras that I'm preparing for a CD. There's actually one CD that's out already on my website at jeffdeen.com. And there are more drum mantras in the works, but this particular one, the self-love one, I think is the foundation of everything. I think everything just gets better if we love ourselves more.
Yeah. We love ourselves completely.
Yes.
Thank you.